everyone. This is Mark Anthony with AI Edge Podcast, the place where we bring you the best of the best doctors in their niches and in their area. Dr. Clint Freeman is a leader with with integrative regenerative medicine, taking uh, things to new heights, helping people with frozen shoulder, neck pain, pinky toe pain. I had to throw in the pinky toe. You got to have some fun here. Whatever it
Absolutely.
is, guys, it's about the whole body. You know, a lot of doctors do not focus on the whole body, maybe just certain parts, and that's okay. That's their niche. But Dr. Clint is really focused on not just putting a patch on it, but focusing on finding where the main irritation is in the body and to focus on healing. Today, we're going to be talking about frozen shoulder. This is nothing new to Dr. Clint Freeman. I think I met you like 7 years ago. It's been a long time, brother.
Yeah. You said that exactly like I paid you to say it. Exactly like I appreciate that, man, on the
Really?
introduction. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay, awesome. So, hey, with that being said, you can find Dr. Clint at Thrive Point Chiropractic. Again, Thrive Point Chiropractic. And one of the things that they do is not just chiropractic. People just think that, hey, you know what, they're a chiropractor. All they do is crack backs, crack necks, and pinky toes. And that's not it. And the beautiful thing here is, Dr. Clint took a couple years off, went into consulting and helping other practices out. And I think those 2 years when he took off, he was like, you know what? I need to get back in the game and have some fun and focusing on helping as many people as I can. So he moved. He'll let him tell the story, but I'll tell the baby story. He moved and then he realized, you know what? There's a lot of people here in pain that are not being treated the way they needed to be treated. So, Dr. Clint, thank you so much for being here. Tell us your story and how you took some time off, and then what kind of brought you back into this beautiful profession of helping people.
Mark, thanks for having me. Yeah, it was one of those deciding moments that my wife and I were sitting down and talking one night. And as our children were starting to get older, she said, I really, I'd love to have a space where the children get to growing up in a small town, smaller schools. She's a school teacher. And when she said she wanted to move back toward Mountain View, I was like, what do I have to do to make that happen? And here we are, in those years that I kind of took a time off, did some guided hunts, did some stuff like that, just trying to do the whole farm thing, build a house, all the things you do when you try to take a little time off. And I just kept getting drawn back into I was seeing all these people you'd see them at Walmart and you knew they had neuropathy, and no one in the area was offering anything to help that. And the more that I just, really prayed about it, I knew I had to get back into it. And so we started small. We've got this little space, and man, the first week I was open, I think I had 18 new patients just call the phones, and all of them with neuropathy. And none of
Wow.
them, yeah, there was nothing around that was helping people. And so, especially with the training that I've had, with Barlow and all those, that it it's imperative that you tell people they at least have options out there. You've been around it,
No, it's a beautiful thing, and you were telling me as we were conversating that a lot of people didn't even understand what neuropathy was, maybe in that area. I mean,
Yeah, they said it. Well, is that because of my beats? The diabetes. And I said, well, yeah, that can cause it. And I'm in a very rural area of Mountain View, Mountain View, Arkansas. Very rural. But it's just amazing at how many people are suffering with it every day. And then, start doing a little bit of marketing on some frozen shoulder and some knee pain, chronic knee pain. And their only options in this area is to get an injection, which, that could help some people, with the cortisone or the steroid to help take the pain away, but that's not going to fix it. And there's some options to help decrease your pain, but not to fix it. And so that's why I made the decision. Hey, it's time to jump back into it and really, start helping people.
no, I love it. What was the turning point? You did take a couple years off. What was the turning point where you're just like, I miss this?
I've always had a mentor early in my career, and he said, "Man, if you ever stop having a reason to, and if you stop contributing to the world, like you stop contributing to making the world a better place, like you're either green or growing, or you're ripe and rotting." And I thought, man, I gotta get green and growing again. Um, and that's just it. It just clicked. I said, man, I've got to start getting back into it. I miss that connection. I miss that interaction with patients every day. I miss that look on their face, especially like with neuropathy. Around day 90, when you did a re-exam and you said, "Hey, 90 days ago, you were in pretty rough shape. What's the difference?" And they're crying. They can feel the carpet. They can feel their feet. They can drive again. They don't have to worry about they don't have to worry about losing their driver's license. It's just I missed that, and so I was really happy to get back into that. And of course, little it continuing the training, continuing to learn more and more about it. Um, it's been very, very rewarding for what little I've been, kind of skimming the surface. But now it's time to really dive off back into it.
So I noticed that, you know, you took over Thrive Point Chiropractic,
Hmm.
and I believe from what you told me was they were really just focusing just on chiropractic. They didn't really
Hmm.
go into like neuropathy or like laser or anything like that. Or I mean,
No,
what is going to be different from just regular chiropractic? What are some of the services that you're going to be offering that was not there before? That's there now that you
she
can
did
help them.
she did a great job, and with helping people understand the spinal rehab model of chiropractic. X-rays before, X-rays after,
Beautiful.
to trying to actually, create stability, increase the nervous system. I loved that about her clinic, and I did not want to change that one bit. I'm getting back into that whole niche in itself, and so I was excited about that. But the biggest thing that I wanted to bring into it was neuropathy, frozen shoulder, and chronic knee pain. And along with some foot pain and stuff. But those three, man, that's the three that I really wanted to try to integrate. Also, she was in network with all these different insurances that I've never been in network with, which I've had some really bad experiences with insurances before. But their team there was amazing, and they still are amazing at helping people get insurance coverage, and even just trying to help those that are on severely fixed incomes, having abilities to offer some of them some answers that maybe I never would have been able to do on my own without having that team in place.
That's awesome. So you guys take insurance. That's
We
amazing.
we do, yeah. It's once again, I vowed I would never get back into insurance ever, but seeing that how it works, and with all as with insurance, it changes. What they don't cover this month, next month suddenly they start to be able to cover. And of course, we still offer our cash services, but we want to be able to offer some things to these
Option.
these individuals that cannot afford a whole lot of out of pocket, and so we really want to be able to help as many people as possible.
That's amazing. What is one of the things that you see like in your area? I know that you were saying that you're just the population in your area is like 3,500.
Yeah, and in probably in the city limits area, probably within 20 miles, another 3 or 4 thousand, 5,000, 6,000, something like that. It's very rural.
Wow. But those are people that you can help. That's the kicker here.
Salt of the earth people, what we call them.
No, I love it. So it's funny, you and I haven't talked in quite a few years, but I see
Yeah,
you. Funny when you see someone on Facebook, you feel like you talk to them. It's hilarious.
I
But
know.
your videos are like amazing, because they're just so
Thanks.
dry and they're just not dry, but they're with a flavor of just seeing who you are. Normally when I see people, doctors are just I always see them one way. With you, I love it how you're sharing your experiences with your children hunting. I mean,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about your background with like hunting and stuff like that. Or
Growing up here, middle of nowhere, Arkansas, that's all you had to do. If you didn't hunt and fish, I don't know what you did. I found trouble somewhere else. But and it's been a passion of mine, shoot, for as long as I can remember, growing up into it. And now that my son is starting to get into, I have fished more in the last 2 years than I have in my entire life combined. If there is a day we can go fishing, which it's here in Arkansas, it's just getting about 75 now. Tomorrow's supposed to be 78. I guarantee you we're going to be fishing. Um, my son is just obsessed with it. And my daughter, she loves the outdoors, not as much as the fishing, but she still loves the outdoors. Um, and I love to be able to share that with people. That's another passion of mine, is when I see someone no longer be able to enjoy the outdoors, whether that's hiking, not necessarily, you don't have to be hunting for the outdoors, hiking, kayaking, just on a river, on a boat, on
Right.
the lake. If you can't enjoy that anymore, I mean, that's a huge part of some people's lives. And my goal is to be able to restore that. Let's get you back into enjoying the outdoors in whatever way that is.
No, I love it. Now, and where were you living at before this when you had your
We were
practice?
over in the Bentonville area. So that's, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Springdale. That's home of
Oh,
Walmart.
very
They,
different.
yeah, very different. I think there were 900 people a month moving into that area. It is growing so fast. My mother-in-law still lives over there. So when we go visit her, it's just crazy how much change, even in the last couple of years of us living here, how much change has happened over there. And I got to be honest with you, I don't miss it. I miss the food choices. We were talking about food before we started recording. I miss the food choices, but I do not miss the hustle and bustle.
Do you notice the difference, honestly, from on your mind? Meaning when you were in the hustle and bustle, and then you're more in God's country and you're just
Yeah,
enjoying the flowers and the water and just doing stuff that's not just being on Facebook and social media. Do you kind of feel like
100%.
it's elevated? Like, I don't know, I don't want to say the word elevated, but you feel like you're more at peace. Is there a difference in?
It took me a while to slow down. Like,
Really?
even when we moved over here, I was so used to just the hustle that it took me a while to get used to slowing down. And now, we're back to that slow country living, which you can probably hear it in my voice. I've probably slowed my my accent down a little bit as well. But it's just a slow way of living, which I wouldn't trade it for anything. It would take a whole lot of zeros on the back of a number for me to move somewhere back to that right now.
It's interesting, and you probably agree, is that once you slow everything down, you can work less and enjoy life.
Cost of living's lower, our overhead's lower. Even in the clinics, you have to. I hear these people, they're like, I want $1 million a year clinic. And I'm like, okay, but what's your overhead? If your overhead's 900,000 a year and you're in $1 million clinic, I think I would rather make 200,000 and keep
Sometimes less is
half of
more.
it. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
funny. We hear these old sayings and not realizing how much wisdom there is in these old sayings. Less is more. I,
100%.
I noticed that for myself, it's funny, I took almost 2 years off, like you, kind of recollaborating my brain and thinking structure. And when I did that, I'm like, my spirit still wants to work all these hours because mentally, us working a certain amount of hours makes us have a feel of a self worth.
Yeah.
It does. And because the way
Yeah.
God created us to work and to hunt. And it's like, but when you slow it down, it's funny. We don't realize that we can get more done in 4 hours than in 8 and 10 hours if we use the God given gift of called relaxing, listening, paying attention, learning. Okay, I'm not going to do it like this because doing something a certain way can save you a lot of time.
And you know this as well. You'll never get today back. So I refuse to work beyond being able to pick my kids up from school, being able to enjoy the afternoon with them. I will do whatever it takes to work fewer hours to be able to spend that time. And cause once they're grown up, they're grown
Gone,
up.
man.
You'll never get that. And I lost my dad at 19 to a massive heart attack. He was healthy as a horse, quote unquote, Sunday when I went to college. Tuesday, I got the phone. He was dead. Phone call. He was dead. And I mean, it surprised the entire community because he was quote unquote healthy. He just ran 2 miles. you
Stop.
know? And so
There was no sign, nothing. There was
nothing. No. And I always talk about health insurance. I'm gonna do a little plug here. Life insurance is important. He was actually applying for life insurance that week, and
you
it
know
it
what?
didn't it didn't go into effect.
It didn't.
It didn't.
That is,
Nope.
he knew
Now
something.
he did. Before I left, he said, "Man, maybe I'll get my life insurance policy for $1 million, and I'll pass away, and you guys will be set." You know it. When he said that, I was like, "Set, Dad. We are set. We got what? We don't need anything." But to him, he was the dad, right? He was the
You know what
provider.
though? In a way, and I'm not trying to make it into something totally different, but in a way, when
No,
you see something like that, it's God telling you, you brother, you need to get yourself a life insurance and don't wait. I mean, I'm
yeah,
just saying, like we don't know, it says in the good book, tomorrow's not promised to you. Don't make plans for
no,
tomorrow, for today's got its own worries.
yeah,
And I'm sure you learned a lot about stress, man, like from when you went probably from more of a stressful scene to over here, and you probably started realizing
absolutely.
what really matters is your family, is your time that you're not going to get back, talking to your mom on the phone.
I've realized so much, especially, last couple of years, lifestyle changes. Um, Stress is stress. Like it's going to be there tomorrow. Like just learn to deal with, like learn to be able to handle it and know that it's all going to be okay. I can lose if after this podcast I get a letter that I am being sued for every physical thing I own,
Right.
everything, anything, vehicles, houses, land, and everything, and I lose it tomorrow. If I've got my family and we're healthy, who cares? I'll just buy more later. Like, right? It'll all work out. It'll as long if we've got a warm place to live and we've got food in our belly, who cares?
That's it. You know what? And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's funny. I have a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. Time's going so quick. And I look at life so much differently. I'm 49 years old and it's funny. I think maybe that's the threshold when you start thinking. I'm like, all right, I need to slow it down, and now it's not just slowing it down because, when I took my 2 years off, I was like, Lord, I don't even know what I want to do anymore. I'm doing
Mhm.
marketing, branding. Am I even passionate about that anymore? Stepped away and I was like, man, I miss podcasting. If I could do anything for free,
Yeah.
I'm going to do podcasting
Well, you're
because
great
it's
at it.
it's about connecting with people. Thank you. It's about connecting with people, and it doesn't. Who knows? What if I'm in your area, or what if I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna need, I need some help. I feel comfortable with this doctor. I'm gonna go spend a couple days out there, and because we all are supposed to help each other. There's an old saying. It's not about when you leave here. It's not about what you did or this or that, but it's about how you made people feel. That's something that just resonates. And if I like, I
Yeah.
always say, it's so funny. I always say this, normally at the end of the video, I was like, hey, share this video because there's one video can change someone's life. We don't know who that is.
We
And it's
don't.
funny. I used to always say that. Now I'm doing it again. I had this one doctor hit me up. Haven't had him on my podcast for like 4 years. And the doctor goes, I just want to thank you. I go, for what? He goes, the podcast that you did for me, it changed my entire business. Now I'm traveling around the world because of that video that you did with me. And my entire now I'm doing over $1 million a year because of what you did. I was like,
You're
okay,
welcome.
I was like, we need to do another podcast. But
Yeah.
my point is that we don't know who we're gonna help. Like we don't know what this video, who it's gonna hit in your area or surrounding area or somewhere else that's gonna be like, I really like that guy. I want to hear more from him. I'm just saying, like, we don't know, man. We don't understand the impact and the blueprint that sometimes God uses us to help other people. And if we be realistic, God uses people to help other people to help other people, period. You
A lot
know?
of times I don't think we even know it. It's one like you said, that guy may have never told you that, and you never would have knew the impact that made on his life. Yeah.
I didn't believe it. I got on the phone with the brother, man. I was like, okay, let's talk a little bit more. And then he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro, what you did for me. And now he's like, hey, man, would you help me with a podcast? I go, matter of fact, funny you say that. I actually do done for you podcast for doctors. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want to do something like that. I want to be, he's like, I want to travel less now. Is that funny? Now he wants to travel less and just speak from podcasting, which nowadays you don't have to go to a seminar. You can actually go to a seminar just on a podcast and connect on the big screen. You know,
Yeah.
it's simple. You know, it's funny. I used to always say this. You know, God works in mysterious ways. And then one of my best friends says, "What do you mean mysterious ways? He just works." I
Well,
was like, "Hey, you know what it says. You know, I'm not trying to get preachy teachy, but I love the Bible because there's so much wisdom. You know, like man plans his ways, but God directs his footsteps. All of our footsteps are being directed, whether we like it or not.
yeah. Sometimes we try to fight him, and we keep going in the direction we want to go, and then he just
Yeah,
pushes you on over. You can
yeah,
keep going as
exactly.
long as you want to. He's just going to bring you back. Like, go ahead.
100%. So what direction do you see? Like what direction, what's your vision and your goal for this new venture that you're getting into, taking those 2 years off? What's your vision and goal for the next, say, we'll just say the next 5 years? Because I know you and other people like entrepreneurs, we always try to have like a vision and goal before we get into anything.
Wait, it scares me, so I know it's a good one.
Hey,
Um,
if it doesn't put a knot in your throat, you ain't thinking too big.
gosh, it's one of those, and and it's evolving more and more. I was kind of giving you a little backstory earlier when when I talked to you a few days ago, it just made it just pop even more. Is I really want to be a doc that in a clinic where people who can't get out into the outdoors like they used to, whether that's once again hunting, fishing, archery, hiking, boating, kayaking, they've got frozen shoulder, they've got crinky knees. I want to be able to be a clinic where they can call me, they come in, they fly in, they drive in. We provide, we get them a place to stay for a week. We do treatments all week long, trying to improve that joint as much as we can in that time frame, and then offer them. We're in Mountain View, trout capital fishing of the world, so they can, we've got fishing, man. We've got 3 lakes within an hour drive with phenomenal fishing. We've got thermal hog hunting if that's something you've never done and you want to try. Depending on what time of year it is, we can we can arrange that. Certain times of the year they just disappear, so it's absolutely 0 point going. But the hotter it is, the better it is. But provide them with that experience for a night or two. Bring your kids, bring your wife. They're shopping here. I want to be kind of the go to where they can come in, they can get better, they can feel at home, like they're welcome, experience some culture that's really bar none, to a lot of places that I've been to. But just, man, come get better and start your journey back into the outdoors of what you love to do. That's my vision with this clinic, is that.
So it's kind of like a concierge service almost.
Yeah, and providing, of course, everybody local. The word's starting to spread that we've got a different approach, and especially to the shoulders. I see people very often, they've been to other places and they tried and their shoulder never got better. Well, we're gonna get you better in 1 to 2 treatments, or we're probably not gonna keep going. It's really to most of those. And I say that very boldly and sometimes, but at the exact same time is, if I don't think I'm going to be able to help you, I'm not going to just try. Like, it's like, hey, I probably can't help you, so sorry. Or I know a guy that's more qualified, a doc, a gal that's more qualified. Let me send you there. I have sent probably more people to Barlow that I just looked at them and went, you are far beyond my reach. I'm sending you to Tupelo, Mississippi, you know, because that guy, we, if you're in the Cairo world, you know that name. It's very few have not heard that name, but that's probably where I'm sending them. If there's, especially on those
Right.
really neurological problems. But if I can't help you, let's find someone that can.
I love it. And that's a true doc when a doctor where they're like saying, you know what, I did the best that I can, but I know somebody that I know that can. We use each
Yeah,
other's strengths. And I saw your video on the shoulder guy. The guy had a frozen shoulder and
yeah.
maybe tell a little story on that. Because you
So
had it all recorded. It was beautiful, man. It was perfect.
he's a plumber, man. He is just an awesome dude. But he, he's been getting that shoulder worked on, and he's had it for months. But he was under a house, and he was cutting an I-beam, and it landed and dislocated that shoulder. And so he had to crawl out from underneath that crawl space, and he's a big guy. Um, anyway, he put his shoulder back into place, and it just kept getting worse and worse. You seen if you looked at the video, he could only go about 90 degrees and 5 minutes later he could lift it to his head, and his pain went down to almost a 1. So
Ah,
yeah, I mean, he just could not believe it. And so I texted him the next day and I said, "Hey, how's your shoulder and B? Can I share your video?" He said, "Absolutely, it's
yeah,
doing
heck
great."
yeah.
Yeah, and I had another one yesterday. He drives a cement truck, and once again, it was only 4 days ago, but he jammed it. And now he couldn't lift his left arm up, and we got it above his head, and so he can. I text him today, and he's like, "Man, it's like I never had a problem." And so, I told anyway. That's what it's just fun, man. It makes practice fun.
Wow. So, wow, that's amazing. I love the video you put up. It was just so organic, just fresh, just like right from the phone. And it's it's funny. A picture says 10,000 words, they say, but a video's over a million. The words, I mean,
100%.
you can't you can't fake that. I
No,
mean,
why
and
try? You're gonna get caught if you fake it.
oh
I
yeah, yeah,
and you
fake
have
it till
that
you
whole
make it,
saying,
whatever.
"Fake it till you make it." Sure, but you better not fake it very long.
You fake it till you make it, you're gonna shake it. They're gonna shake you down. Trust me.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, and it's not pretty. You go from steak to top ramen. But
Woo.
yeah, even though, but that's another story. But that's awesome. So that's your vision. And what is your kind of goal to get to that? Is that within the next 24 months, next 3 years? What's your timeline? I know it's on God's line, but it's good to kind of have an idea.
I'd love in the next 12 months if we could establish, if we could get that going, 12 to 24, that'd be awesome. That way we can, there's a lot of moving parts in there. There's a lot of relationships we've got to really tighten up. With there's some fishing guys, and there's some Airbnbs, and there's some stuff that I would love to get that whole system just tightened up um, within the
I
next
see where
12
you're
to
going.
24.
That's
That would be
awesome.
awesome.
That's
That way
so
we can have
cool.
you out. I don't know if you
Oh
like to
yeah,
go
I'm already.
fishing,
We
but
said you said something about hog sweat. I don't even know what that is,
hog
brother.
hunting we've got thermal scopes, so it can be pitch black, and we can see just like it's daylight out there.
Wait a
And so
minute.
they
So
can't see us, but we can see them.
wait. Don't those suckers attack you?
Yeah, yeah, I've got stories on that too. We could be on
Oh
here a
my
minute.
God, bro, you gotta
Um,
record some of that stuff, brother, with this hog stuff, bro. You gotta hey, you know what? You gotta record that.
oh, I've got a couple of my scopes record, so I'll send you a few videos of all I can say is there's been a few instances I'm glad that the sound wasn't turned on because they got close, and there was some words that the preacher wouldn't be happy for them being said a
Oh
couple
my
times in there.
gosh. Yeah, but you know what? I bet you if the preacher was there, he'd probably say the same words and be
He
repenting. Trust
would.
me. I
When you
mean,
got
come
a
on.
250 pound boar with 4-inch cutters on either side of them that are razor sharp, and these things, I mean, they're tough. I've seen these things take multiple rounds of a 308 and just keep running.
Shut
Now,
up.
oh yeah, like we counted one. It was 14 rounds before he. Now, if you make, not to get too in depth into it, but headshots are your number one unless you want a European mount, and then don't shoot them in the head. But um, yeah, it's a really cool it's a cool experience, especially with kids. And if you've never done that kind of thing, to just looking through a thermal scope's cool. But when they start coming out, we try to do 100 to 75-yard shots. Most people can make that. We've got the tripods that make the shot really steady. But we can get a lot closer than that. I had one
So
guy, he
what do you
he
what do
wanted
you
to bow
guys do?
hunt.
Wait, what do you guys do? Like, okay, you shoot it. What do you got cook it up or
Everyone's different. Some people like pork, some people don't. But I will tell you, during the summer, they're really, really lean because they don't have as much fat to eat. During the winter, they have all these acorns to eat. They get really, really fat, and they really taste good. I
what does it
mean,
taste like?
oh, a really sweet pork chop.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is good
You
if
could
you
put
want
some
to eat
nice
pork,
seasoning on that puppy.
dude. It is the tenderloin makes they're really tender. Even the hams. A lot of people like to fry them up. Some people like to make roast out of them. Oh, they're good. In
Wow.
fact, there's a lot of families around here that live off of wild hog meat 90% of the time, just because it's free and they're abundant. They are so prevalent. They can reproduce every 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. Like that's how often they could have a litter, and they have
Oh,
10 to 15 every litter. Do the math. That's 3 times a
wait a
year they're
minute. Wait a minute.
reproducing.
That's a good business.
Yeah, yeah. We probably killed 1,000 in the last year or so.
Oh man, you're a professional.
No, no, no. It's just,
Bro,
but we're
bro, when
not
you hit a
touching the.
thousand, come on.
Yeah, we haven't touched the population. When we have access in Texas, we will literally see hundreds a night in these fields. Hundreds. They're everywhere, and they're so tough. They can eat anything. They compete for all the wildlife. And I know we're going on a tangent, but um, it is like when I say they are a nuisance, they're a nuisance, but they sure are a lot of fun to shoot.
Man, that's awesome. So what else
Especially
do you
long range. Long range is kind of my thing where I like to bait them. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
you want to
myself
have
in
some
trouble.
fun. You want to work for it.
1,000 yards to me is like where you start.
That's wow. Is that a popular thing over there?
Not as popular. It's here over in Bentonville. It was. There was actually a good friend of mine teaches a class there, and I took all of his classes to learn how to do that. There's so much. There's a lot into that. And if I was to turn my camera right now, I'm sitting in my mom's yard, where we're currently living when we build this house. I actually have a target at 1 mile east.
Oh man.
You can't see it in the camera, but it's 1 mile, and so you really have to calculate it. But yeah, I'm in the mile club.
What's the I'm in the mile club. What's the
Not
popular
not the
thing out there? What type of hunting?
hogs, more. Deer is like your second best. Everyone deer hunts here. Then squirrels, rabbits. That's your go-to. We don't have pheasant. We used to have quail. We don't have that anymore.
What's your
But
favorite meat out of all the hunting out there?
here,
Yeah.
uh, between rabbit and deer is my favorite meat here. Now of all
Rabbit has a
time,
good taste. It's
yeah.
kind of
Now
like a
have you ever had
chicken
axis
almost.
or moose before?
Never.
Oh, you,
Was moose another level? Is it like a ribeye?
it is. It's the best meat I've ever ate.
Is it
Like
tender?
it's on. Oh yeah, it is on my bucket list to go kill a moose. Yeah, and of course you can go to Texas kill an axis, and that's a really good meat too.
Oh man, but you want to do it where you're at so you can just have all the meat right in your fridge.
Well, that's why I want to go to Newfoundland, whatever you say it, hillbilly language. Um, you can actually keep 100% of your meat when you kill a moose there.
No.
Yeah, they'll
Oh,
actually ship it down in a train, and all you got to do is go pick it up
oh wow.
because you'll fly in
Unbelievable.
and fly out, and then they'll ship it to you.
That's the best meat you've ever had.
Best
Moose.
meat, and of course, these animals are 1,500, 2,000 pound animals, so that's a lot of meat.
Oh, it's just marinating inside them.
Exactly.
It's already hey, that's pre-marinated.
And
Hey,
tender, and oh
you're like,
man,
hey bro, you're like, give me the big boy. Give me the big boy.
I don't even care about the antlers. Forget it. I just want that meat.
Yeah. Oh gosh, man, I don't believe it. See, this is good, and this is why I wanted to have you on the podcast because one, you're so easy to talk to, and
Well,
see, and
thanks.
it's people getting to know you, and this is,
Yeah,
you got a new practice, it's fresh, and I think this is just really really awesome, and I love what you're doing. I love your vision, and the people that you're going to be able to help take their not just their life, but yeah, their life to the next level. There's people out there that right now that are struggling right now that miss hunting. There are people that are struggling that miss going on that walk, miss hiking, miss. I mean, and this is what you do, and you're in an area from what. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's about 7 chiropractors, so
yeah,
everyone's got their giftings, But what I love about this doctor, if you guys do your research, he goes a little bit deeper. Not saying they're not great. They're great at what they do. But when you've got a doctor that can help you, within 2 visits, frozen shoulder, and you're able to move. I mean, that's something to bark at. You got your knee, your knee's getting locked up. Maybe the doctor's saying, hey, you know what? You're bone on bone. You might want to see Dr. Clint because a lot of the times, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the times the doctors will say, "Hey man, you're bone on bone," but you're not.
You see my kids in the background?
Man, I
They're
love.
in the
Hey,
back of my
listen,
truck.
they will find you, bro. You know what I do sometimes, dude? I hide in my car for my kids, and they
That's
find
what
you,
I'm
dude.
doing here.
You can't
That's why
hide,
I'm in the
dog.
truck.
Nope,
No,
nope, no hiding.
no,
Hey, I love it, dude. I
God.
see this. I see this head poke out.
Oh yeah, they just yeah. I knew it wouldn't be long.
Oh, hey. You know they were searching around the house and then outside
Oh yeah,
around.
they heard the truck running. They're like, oh, I know where he is. Here he is. He's on
Oh
another phone
man.
call.
No, this is beautiful, but you know what? I know that we're going to be doing this a lot more, and I just wanted to, number one, get your voice out there because
Yeah,
people need to
thanks, man.
know you're out there, and maybe tell a little bit about the area that you're at and the surrounding areas that you do help out.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
tell us.
so even the last most of my neuropathy patients that I'm seeing are man, they're coming from a ways away. Like Heber is about an hour, and then I've seen some people from Searcy and Batesville, and then there's some closer to Jonesboro, um, even up and toward some retirement communities like Cherokee Village and Horseshoe Bend. Um, and of course, when you don't have to really see these people in clinic, they don't have to come that often. And so I can see someone from 2 or 3 hours away, and they can do most of their treatments at home. It really helps them to be able to do that easier. And of course, as we do some of this insurance stuff, they're gonna have to come into the clinic a little more often. That'll be it. You kind of give and take a little on that one, but it's you put Mountain View on a map, you can pretty much sign a circle, a 2 or 3 hour radius. That's what we're drawing from right now.
Okay, two or three. Okay, that's good. That's really good. So what that tells me, just hearing you talk, is that they totally need you. Because if that was the case, they would just stay where they're at.
Yeah. Now I did run some TV ads for just a short minute, and I started getting all these people calling from South Arkansas. And I've got a great buddy in Little Rock, and I felt a little bit bad if I didn't say, "Hey, do you want to drive 4 hours and see me, or an hour and see my buddy?" And every time they're like, "Oh, wait, there's a guy in Little Rock." I'm like, "Yeah, he's great. He's been through the training. He's good." And so I called him one day. I said, "I'm cutting my TV off because you owe me a steak." And he goes, "Yeah, you've sent me like 10 people."
Wow.
Yeah. Cut
Uh-huh.
TV off after that. I was like, "No, I'm in the area that TV doesn't work."
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, I just
Well,
want to
that
say,
channel, at least the channels we were running on was statewide. So they would call, which just tells us there's very few people doing TV ads in our area because, I mean, it was just immediately people started calling, but they were all from, a pretty good ways away. And I had to, I would have felt bad if I didn't at least give them the option of going, "Hey, there's a really qualified guy down there, closer
do you
to you.
still
I
have that
trust
TV
him."
ad? Do you still have that TV ad?
I do. I do.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you don't mind, if you could send me that TV ad, I'd love to take a
I
look
will.
at it.
Yeah, for sure.
You can always reuse something to,
100%.
because there's also other platforms which that you can do where you can like Disney, like Hulu, and you
I've
can
been
put your
thinking
commercial
about that.
and you can do the actual radius. That's something that I started. My buddy, one of my close friends. Speaking of friends, that I actually work with him. He does that, and
Awesome.
it's kind of funny because Barlow and I were talking about that. That's what he wants to do. You know,
Well,
because
we were,
you could target so much easier, and
yeah,
it's just
we don't watch much TV, but we were watching Amazon the other night, and a local pizza shop
yep,
came on, and
yep.
I went, "Oh, now wait a minute." Now, neuropathy, I don't know as much of, but man, like getting the right demographic, but
Yeah,
knee and
but
shoulder for
people
sure.
that got neuropathy, they getting that pinging, and they
That's
can't go to
true.
bed at night, and they're watching TV, eating some
That's
popcorn because
true.
they're frustrated about the pinging.
Yeah, they can't sleep,
You know?
restless leg, all that
Yeah. Hey,
stuff.
with a Twinkie, you're like, put the Twinkie down, dog. It's what's
It,
causing it.
come on now, put the sugar
Yeah,
down.
exactly. Yeah, that's a hard one. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. This was
Yeah,
fun. I
it
know we're gonna
was.
do it again, and you're one of those clients that, or not clients, but just friends that you're just too easy to talk to, man. I wish everybody was like that and relax, kick
Well,
back in their
thanks, man.
car. I saw your child. She put her, I think it was her. She put her hand up like this in the back.
Yeah. She loves to get attention too. Like she's got it figured out. She's got daddy wrapped around that pinky, and so all she's got to do is, she's got me.
Yeah, she's probably right in front of the car going.
And
All right.
that's what.
All right, my friend. I just want to say thank you so much. And everyone, you can find Dr. Clint Freeman. You can find him at thrivepointchiropractic.com, thrivepointchiropractic.com. Why wait? I mean, we have a doc here that can help you. That's focused on the whole body. You don't have to go through frozen shoulder. You don't have to go through knee pain. You don't have to go through elbow pain. I don't care if it's tennis elbow, pickleball elbow, which I don't think there's much pickleball out there, but
You have to
you
go a
never.
ways. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit, yeah. But hey, for your shoulder, if you want to shoot that rifle, but
Swing that fishing rod.
if that's another one. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.